Looks like we're back. Just so happened to be internet outage in our neighborhood at that exact moment. Hilarious. Hey everybody. Give everybody a few more minutes to come back in the room. If you're still awake, if you're still up, make sure we're streaming on all the platforms. All right. So it looks like we're gonna lose the stream again because the internet is going out in my neighborhood. Mighty convenient. I'm gonna stream as long as I can, and um, everybody's back in the room. A lot of people coming back. Hey, I see you. If we get disconnected again, it's not because of user error. It's because the internet is going down in my neighborhood mighty conveniently. I'm a conspiracy theorist. That's why I don't deal with conspiracy theories, because underneath I really am a conspiracy theorist, and I always believe that somebody's coming after me. So that's why I kind of avoid, and I get hives, break out into a rash when people start talking about conspiracy theory, because I'm kind of naturally inclined for that. But it is mighty convenient that much stuff went down right as I was getting ready to say something important. All right, so take a second. I'm not really concerned about the numbers so much, but I do want to take a second to share and get everyone back, as many people as we can, and keep the conversation going. Um, and I appreciate you all hanging out with me. And let's just talk this through. I think the moral of the story, if there's nothing else that needs to be said, the moral of the story is that we have to take Donald Trump deadly serious. We absolutely have to take him at his word. He told white supremacists to stand by. And what I was getting ready to say is, as a father, I don't have time to be out here fighting in a civil war. Even if it's just a bunch of skirmishes, even if it's just the police state cracking down on us, we don't have time for we don't have time to start over from scratch. We don't have time to start over from scratch. We don't have time. There is no glorious resurrection. We're not the Phoenix. We're not going to, this is not Star Trek. This is not, in Star Trek, there is a great cataclysmic World War III that triggered a future of hope and utopia. I'm sorry. We can get to a future of hope and utopia without going through a cataclysmic civil war in this country. Just, it's unreasonable. And Donald Trump is the man. He is the catalyst that would destroy us. He has the exact combination of all the personality traits and types that will destroy us. And I know I'm preaching to the choir, but I want to reassure you. I want to instill a sense of confidence that you are not wrong. People who try to no, let me go down that train of thought real quick. Not only are you not wrong, but anyone who can actively support Donald Trump, they are so far gone. They're not all sociopaths. Some of them have been duped. Some of them have been deceived. Some of them are whatever. But they are so far gone. If they could look, people tonight looked at Donald Trump and saw him as a hero. And they looked at Joe Biden and saw him as a monster. When any objective observer from anywhere on the face of the planet or off this planet would look at tonight and see clearly and objectively that Donald Trump is a monster. And while Joe Biden is not inherently a hero, he's not inherently a hero. He's not inherently good. But he is definitively a better human being and a better person and a better president than Donald Trump would be. And yet and still you had people who look at the sky and they see it as green, and they will fight you to the death because they say the sky is green and the grass is blue. And they looked at Donald Trump and said, that's our man. That's our hero. That is the characteristics. They looked at his personality tonight and they thought that he is the personification of a good man. When we look at him, and any objective observer from outside American politics, outside of humanity for that matter, can look at him and see that he is objectively the personification of evil and white supremacy. That's what we're fighting against. So I need to reassure you that there is no equivocation. There's no equivalence here. We are not simply the opposite side of the conservative coin. You are not simply the opposite side of your racist family members. This doesn't mean that you are inherently good. It doesn't mean that our narrative is one of automatically being the just or people of justice. It doesn't mean that we don't make mistakes. It doesn't mean any of that. Don't misconstrue anything that I'm saying to make it seem like we are inherently noble, because we can mess up. We do mess up. Joe Biden did sign the 94 crime bill. He voted on it. He didn't sign it. So, but we don't have to be inherently perfect. We don't have to be pristine. Our background does not have to be flawless. Our history, our voting record does not have to be immaculate for us to clearly look at this moment and see that Donald Trump is objectively evil. And in this moment, 2020, I don't care what Joe Biden was before that. In 2020, when we have a choice between someone who is objectively evil and the personification of white supremacy in Donald Trump, Joe Biden, it's hard for me to say this. We got to get rid of Donald Trump, though. We got to get rid of Donald Trump. So I want you to be assured of one thing. I don't care how many people try to tell you everybody's the same. No, the hell we're not. You all are just opposite sides of the same coin. No, the hell we're not. There are good people on both sides. No, the hell there is not. Not in this. Not when you could look at the monstrosity of Donald Trump and his sociopathy tonight, and think that it was objectively good and that he is your hero and that he is your savior. I'm sorry, there are not good. You know who had it right? God bless y'all. Y'all about to make me say something positive about Hillary Clinton. Damn it, Donald Trump, you about to make me say something good about Hillary Clinton, because I'm a Bernie bro through and through. But you know who was right? Hillary Clinton, when she called them a basket of deplorables. People were scared of that. People were like, oh, that's so rude. Oh, you shouldn't say that. Oh, you're so elitist. No. Hillary Clinton was right. These people who could look at Donald Trump tonight and see him as their hero are deplorable. And they would be the destruction of our society. Now, that might be the only thing that you have ever gotten me to say publicly positive about Hillary Clinton. Okay? But it's true. And I don't have time for these false equivalencies. Because anybody, and I'm going to say the same damn thing over and over and over again until you got it in your spirit. I need you to have it in your soul. Anybody who can look at Donald Trump's, simply his behavior tonight, his behavior. If you could look at Donald Trump's behavior tonight and think that his is the narrative of goodness, his is the narrative of Christianity and empathy and kindness and peace and long suffering and the fruits of the Spirit. If you could look at Donald Trump and see a hero instead of a villain, you are in that basket of deplorables. Full stop. And again, I got to reiterate something, y'all. Can I just reiterate this? I am not inherently good, right? If you knew everything about me, it would be enough for you to be like, okay, we got some questions about this guy. You are not inherently good. This moment, we are not inherently on the side of good in this moment. Joe Biden has baggage. Joe Biden has baggage. Joe Biden has some real baggage. But I swear on everything, if you can't see how dangerous Donald Trump will be for this country's survival, then why are you even on this stream? Get the hell out the stream. Move on. Let me talk to the people who have some good sense. Like we can't convince those who are being paid to not be convinced, and those people who are so deplorable, so disgusting, so twisted in their mentality that they can look at Donald Trump and say, our hero. Shit, I can't even look at Joe Biden and say, my hero. I'm a Bernie bro, and I don't even look at Bernie Sanders and say, my hero. What we do is we look soberly at the moment and we do the best with what we got. Damn it, Democratic Party, you stuck us with Joe Biden. Okay, it is what it is. I'm not going to litigate that right now. You can see I still got a little chip on my shoulder, but I'm going to set that thing aside. I'm going to set that chip aside. Because in this moment, we are faced with an existential threat in Donald Trump. And I don't care if it was Amy Klobuchar. Bro, I actually kind of would like it if it was Amy, bro, because she would throw a staple at his head. Like, she would throw a binder. She would have reached across the aisle and drop kicked that man. So I don't care if it was Pete Buttigieg. I don't. Because I have the gift of, the same gift that everybody has if you use it. And it's called foresight. And I could see it coming a mile away. We simply do not survive 4 more years of Donald Trump. Not because he's inherently a monster or that it's inevitable that America would be destroyed, but because he has demonstrated that the only thing that matters to him is his ego. And he has demonstrated that he is willing to destroy the Constitution for his ego. He has demonstrated that he will call on white supremacists to stand by, stand at the ready for his ego. He has demonstrated that he was so discord. Let me give you a quick Bible lesson real quick. Let me just give you a real quick Bible lesson. A lot of people try to use Leviticus as a means of saying, oh, well, this is why we shouldn't have marriage equality because God thinks that a man laying with a man is an abomination, right? You've heard that. Everybody, all church folks use that. What they don't tell you is that in, I believe it's Proverbs, that there's a list of things that God hates. And I really should get the whole scripture because every one of them identifies Donald Trump. And the one that jumps out to me right now, and the reason I'm bringing it up is because if you're going to use the Bible to justify your opposition to same-sex marriage, then you better use that same Bible to justify your opposition to Donald Trump. Because one of the things that is an abomination in the Bible is a person who sows discord amongst the brethren. Who is sowing more discord in this country right now than Donald J. Trump? He is an abomination. He is an abomination. And everything about him is literally pushing the buttons of our country's destruction. I mean, how else? I mean, I could break it down. And you want the breakdown in terms of international relations theory. I could do that too, right? I mean, simply put, America's too big to fail. The interconnectivity of the United States, just on the economy wise, with the rest of the global power structure, with the global system. We cannot afford to have a president who is there and would watch our country crumble, because it's not just the crumbling of the United States that is at risk. It's the crumbling of our entire international system. We are too interdependent. America isn't going to go down with a whimper. America, when has white supremacy ever disappeared with it's never disappeared. When is it going down with a whimper? You think Donald Trump won't take he will not only destroy this country for the sake of his ego. The man you saw in that debate tonight would destroy the world for the sake of his ego. How else? I mean, what? You want to talk about it in terms of relationships? We can break it down however you want to break it down. Donald Trump is an existential threat. And anyone who is playing around with it and saying, oh, you're fear-mongering, oh, you're being hyperbolic, oh, you're just trying to scare the people, they are a part of that basket of deplorables that Hillary Clinton correctly identified. And oh my God, y'all just got me to say something good about Hillary Clinton twice in one stream. Let's get your comments from YouTube. He's a 5-year-old. I like this from Twitch. Man, these went by so quick. Well, this is pretty straightforward. Marcy from Facebook. Hashtag F 'em. I'm trying to do my best not to. Oh, here's some. Thank you from Twitch. You put it up there. It is Proverbs 16 to 19. It says, these 6 things does the Lord hate. Yea, 7 are an abomination unto him. A proud look, a lying tongue, hand that sheddeth innocent blood, a heart that deviseth wicked imaginations. Feet, it's so long. Hang on, it went off the screen. Feet that are swift to run to mischief, a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord amongst the brethren. So I'm sorry, folks. If your thing is Bible and you're an evangelical, you cannot in one breath tell me that you believe the Bible with regards to Leviticus and same-sex marriage and then completely ignore the fact that God has basically called Donald Trump himself an abomination. You don't even got to believe in God. Just put that in your back pocket. And next time somebody brings it out, just remember that you got it here at the Benjamin Dixon Show or whatever. This is called You Up. The name of this thing that I'm doing at night is just it's like somebody sends you a text message. You up? from YouTube. I said this last night. DJ Brown. DJ Brown says on YouTube, Trump is giving me Jim Jones vibes. I told you. He'll take Jonestown. Was it Jones? Where was it that they drank the cyanide Kool-Aid? Couple more comments from you all. To Riger on Twitch. This is a great question. He said, am I going to talk about Tulsi Gabbard peddling right-wing conspiracy theories? I actually did talk about it on today's podcast. And unfortunately, I think it was a part of the patrons, full hour patrons episode. So just go to the BenjaminDixonShow.com to get that full episode. But the long story short is, that's why I gave her so much hell in the primaries. I know people. My problem is not whether or not I'm a good judge of character. I'm a good judge of character, and I peeped game from Tulsi Gabbard all the way back in the primaries. The problem with me is that sometimes I give people the benefit of the doubt when I shouldn't, and then that comes and bite me in the behind. So the long story short is, this is exactly why I opposed her so vehemently during the primaries. I knew she was not good. I'm trying not to. Yeah, she wasn't good. Guyana. Okay, people are correcting me. Let's see. Get a couple more comments in here. We're back. We got 1,700 people. Listen, let's pause. Do me a favor, and because I haven't had a chance to share myself the new stream, but like, share, and subscribe. If you're on Facebook, follow. If you're on Twitch, follow. Just support however you can. Clicking the like button right now will actually help send the algorithm and push us up. Wes Williams. Trump said that he could fool the Republicans and they still want him. Yeah, that's the irony of it. They'll do anything for power. Look at Ted Cruz. Look at Lindsey Graham. Look at how bad Donald Trump, like, you know, Donald Trump insulted Ted Cruz's wife, called her ugly, talked about Ted Cruz's dad. And now Ted Cruz is groveling. You know, he's a bootlicker, groveling because he's more interested in power than he is what's right and what's wrong. And I'm sorry, like, don't get me wrong, I have the ability to get over beef that I have with people, but you're not going to talk about my wife and expect me to, like, I'll be your enemy the rest of the time. That's just it. And I bring this up in context of that comment. It's because not only did Donald Trump, say that he could fool Republicans and they don't care, it's because all they care about is power. That's it. They don't care if they have to grovel. They don't care if they have to plead. They don't care if they have to be a bootlicker. They don't care if you talk about their mother. They don't care if you talk about their spouse. All they want is power. Now, whereas we see that as something that's laughable and see it as a weakness, I think we need to look at that in terms of the danger that they pose. That there's nothing sacred to them that they won't sacrifice on behalf of power. So we see it as laughable, we see it as a weakness, but to them it is actually a strength that they will betray their own family for the sake of power. Papa Red on YouTube says, instead of finding ways of uniting the people, Trump is purposely going out of his way to divide us like a true fascist. Agreed. Agreed. Oh, Graham Hill says that I'm the racist, not Trump. I'm surprised you even spell "your" correctly. So at least that's an accomplishment. Good job. Good job, champ. Let's keep going. A lot of great comments I can't even put on the screen. Y'all got, I mean, I cuss more than everybody else, but I'm trying to keep it clean. Okay. I'm not sure what this is a response to, but I like the overall sentiment. Diane Johnson said, that's because we the people have been negligent. We the people need to hold them accountable. Now, I'm not sure exactly what that's in response to, but I agree with your sentiment. 200,000 people are dead. 204,000 people are dead. Isn't it a shame that you could have a rounding error of 4,000 lives? 4,000 lives become a rounding error in the era of COVID-19. I bring them up because the only way these politicians are able to get away with their sadistic herd immunity strategy is that they don't believe the people will ever hold them accountable. They don't believe the people will ever hold them accountable. This is how they're able to force schools to reopen. When on any given day of the year, when the sun is shining, not a cloud in the sky, and the breeze is just perfect, on the best of days, schools are a petri dish to spread every virus imaginable. But in the season of COVID-19, our sociopathic politicians are trying to force people back into school. In fact, they are actively doing it. People are in school right now, and infections are spreading like wildfire. The reason they do that is because they don't believe the people will ever hold them accountable. And I believe that's the number one paradigm that has to change. Power should fear the people. Let me say it more precisely. The powerful should fear the people. The people should never fear the powerful. Okay, I need to get a mod to help on Twitch. I'm new to Twitch, so show me the ways of Twitch, y'all. I don't know Twitch yet. I'm just streaming. So hit me up. Send me a whisper. I know what a whisper is. A whisper is a DM on Twitch. So send me a whisper and show me the ways of Twitch. I tell you what, give me 2 seconds. I am going to make somebody a mod over on Twitch because apparently somebody are losing their minds. We probably got flooded with some white supremacists or something. So give me just 2 seconds. I think I can quickly make one of you a mod. How do I go to my stream manager? Okay. The chat. All right, we'll figure it out. But oh, there he goes. There he goes. And on YouTube, you could block people yourself. Facebook, I think you could do the same. That's more respect for both. Tammy on Facebook, this is important. Tammy says, when he said stand down and stand by, that was enough for me. Everyone, everywhere, gave this POS a chance to stand for good. And again, he let all of us down. I hate him, and I do not hate anyone. That's the facts. He literally told, and he didn't say stand down. If I'm not mistaken, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but what I remember him saying is stand back and stand by. Stand back and stand by. That's what I remember hearing. Correct me in the chat room if I'm wrong, which is even more dangerous. But your sentiment is 100% correct, Tammy. Beverly London on Facebook says they fear us. What do you think the divide and conquer is all about? Which is why I thank you for saying this, because the person who said, Ben, you're the real racist, not Donald Trump. Here's the thing. You'll tell a tree by the fruit it bears. I have such an ecumenical support base of the most diverse group of people, not just racial diversity. The one I'm proudest the most of is religious diversity. And in my audience, I have people who are atheists, agnostics, Muslims, Hindu, Buddhists, a whole gang of Christians, and I even got some Satanists. And it's not because I ever have to bend on what I believe. It's because I understand this universal truth. It's because I want them to have as much liberty and freedom to worship as they want as I have. That's not the universal truth, but I just want to put that in there. I want them to have as much religious freedom to do whatever they want in their faith as I have. And that same mentality transcends or is extended into race. And so for the proof is in the pudding, the tree and the fruit that it bears, you'll tell. It's in the fact that what I expressly fight for is to ensure that every single person on the face of this planet has as much as I have in terms of freedom, in terms of liberty, in terms of opportunity, in terms of peace, which is at the top of my list. I want everybody to have that, especially the people who don't see the world the way I see it. So obviously that's extended to race. I know I don't even have to entertain the you're the real racist kind of. But I want to ask that person who said you're the real racist, not Donald Trump. Could you possibly ever say that you would want a Muslim or an atheist or an agnostic or a trans woman or a trans black man or LGBT? Could you ever possibly say that you want them to have as much peace and freedom and opportunity as you have? You couldn't possibly say it and support Donald Trump. Thank you, Abigail. About to sleep, ZZZ. What time is it anyway? I lost track. 1:19. All right. At 1:30, we're going to bed. At least I am. I don't know what you're going to do, but I'm going to bed. Oh, thank you, Christine. I left off the most important. Injustice. Holy, like, the most depressing thing about this country are the innumerable injustices that America has written into its history books as though it was justice. The lies that we tell ourselves about our past and the things that we've done, and we've wrapped them in the veneer of justice, when in reality, they are the epitome of injustice. I want and I need everybody to actually realize true justice in this country. And I would ask any Donald Trump supporter if they even know what real justice is. Or have they defined justice through the lens of justifying anything America does? Because if you know what real justice is, then you will see how utterly egregious it is for the Native Americans to have to live simultaneously in the backdrop of all of the figment of our imagination about the goodness of America and the Thanksgiving narrative. Can you imagine the sheer injustice of knowing that this country was stolen from you through genocide and war, and yet the story that is told about it is one of Thanksgiving and pilgrims? See, you can't tell me you actually know what justice is if you refuse to even acknowledge that. What to be done about it? I haven't answered that question yet. But can you even pause and reflect on the injustice that it's like my fear is that 70 years from now, when I'm dead and gone, that the history of this present will be written such that we don't even recognize the 200,000 people that died from COVID-19. That the history of this present records that Donald Trump was studious and diligent in handling COVID-19. Can you imagine a future where all of this is the future they want? Like the guy who said, oh, you're the real racist. The future that he wants is one where I'm written in as evil and Donald Trump is written in as good. Now, can you taste how palatable, how utterly just pungent that injustice would be? That is the injustice of America's history. And yet, these clowns insist that we write it as a narrative of goodness and pure justice. And what I want is for everyone to be able to see through a clear lens, not only see what justice is, but actually experience justice. So thank you for that comment, because that actually brought it back to my remembrance. I like that fist. All. So to my audience, I do want to tell you this. I get joy out of trolls. Oh, you're so adorable. I'll give you some airtime because your cognitive abilities really are best demonstrated in that. So that was your minute. That was your time to shine, guy. Congratulations. I will get some. I will get some mods though. I will get some mods because I don't want you guys to, you all to have to endure it. Just even though I like trolling them back, I don't want you to have to endure that. So I will make sure I have moderators on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch going forward. How much time do we have? What time is it? Okay, we got 6 minutes. Pause. No need to share at this point because we're getting ready to go to bed, but do follow and cross pollinate. Go to Twitch. Follow me on Twitch. I'm trying to get that channel up and going. Follow me on YouTube. I put out some fire content. It's not all long format, but I like doing this late night thing because obviously you're up. 1,800 people are with me right now, and this is after we restarted the stream. So when I ask the question if you're up, I gotta buy some new clothes, y'all. This is like, I used to wear this when it was tight on me and it's hanging all over me. But I'll get a new shirt soon. Anyway, you guys are obviously up and we need to talk. So, oh yeah, let me get this super chat. Fadi, and I'm sorry if I mispronounce your name, but thank you for sharing this. He said, "Thank you, Ben, for making me feel like there's a place for me on the left as a Christian. It could get a bit brutal out here. Christianity has been very badly represented. Listen, two things. Three things. One, thank you for that. Two, I completely understand why a lot of people have animosity towards Christianity when you see the role that it plays in the conservative power structure and their purpose is to dominate society for theocratic purposes, right? Which is detrimental to everyone who's not the exact type of Christian that they are, to science and progress, and just detrimental to humanity in general. So I get the animosity towards Christianity. But I also know that there are plenty of us out here who really are about let me just put it like this. Evangelicals, conservative evangelicals, they are the exact opposite of what Jesus would be and is and did and who he was and who he is. They're the complete opposite. Complete and total opposite. And it hit me when I was teaching, back when I was teaching sixth grade history. And I don't know if I'm really ready to tell this story, but I had a Muslim student. And he was literally the kindest soul that I think I had ever met. And in my head, I had the religious zealotous dogma saying that because he's a Muslim, he wasn't going to heaven. And then in my other consciousness, it was a complete and total rejection of that because I would not and cannot spend my life condemning. It's like the greatest joy of these evangelicals is to condemn people to hell. And if you are actually trying to be like Jesus, you find no joy whatsoever in that. But not only do they find joy in that, they want to dominate society with that type of thinking. They want to control our legal system, our laws with that type of thinking. And to me, it's anathema. It is repugnant. It is the complete opposite of what Jesus would actually do. So I get it why there's a lot of animosity towards Christianity, because the evangelicals, conservative evangelicals, the moral majority, the Jerry Falwells of the world, the John Hagees of the world, the Paula White supremacists of the world, what they're trying to use Christianity for is a bludgeoning tool to oppress. And so people are right to oppose it with everything that they possibly have. And also, you and I are right in that we're trying to show the goodness of it in ways that evangelicals look at us and call us heretical. Does that make sense? Anyway, I think I'm at that time. We got 1 minute. I'm going to answer at least one more question because we still got 1,837 people. I tell you what, now I'm not going to, because I am wide awake. I had a whole ass cup, excuse my language, sorry. I had a whole cup of pumpkin spice latte coffee during the debate. And I was so wired. Like I said, I was like, okay, let me drop down and do some push-ups. And I'm not really that good on push-ups yet, so I already made it to 10. But I wanted to punch the wall because of how ridiculous Donald Trump was tonight. And so what I ended up doing was I went and ran a mile. And I thought that would make me sleepy enough and drain my energy, but it clearly has not. I'm still hyped from that caffeine, and obviously hyped from the conversations that we're having, because it's great. Here's a good one from Gina. Gina said on Facebook, she said she left her church because they honestly acted like Trump. I've been in my faith almost 50 years. She's been in her faith for almost 50 years and couldn't take it any longer. I see so-called Christians on social media keeping up so much drama. I mean, that's again, you tell a tree by the fruit it bears. And I'm sorry, like I said, I got things like I'm not. I mean, I will cut you out in the drop of a dime. I will, I might take a charge and sit some time in jail for some issues. I'll happily do a stint on some issues. I'm only saying these things because I'm not exactly what Jesus would be like. I'm more like Peter. I'll cut your ear off, right? But you could, I'm sorry, the essence of a person, here it is, perfect. I've seen atheists who are better Christians than these damn evangelicals, period. Let's put Tom Carlin on the is it Carton or Carlin from Facebook? Let's put you on the spotlight, my friend. The opinion of some guy in his living room is what you base your thinking on, LOL, as opposed to Donald Trump sitting on his golden toilet tweeting out the most asinine things imaginable. Now, one of the things that is bad about me is that underneath I'm extremely arrogant. I am extremely overconfident in my abilities, and sometimes that backfires. And my prayer has always been, God, put a humble spirit in me so that you don't have to humble me. But I can assure you, Mr. Carton, Tom, can I call you Tom? I can assure you, there's not a single conservative on the face of this planet that wants to smoke with me. They don't want this smoke. Intellectually, rhetorically, they don't want it. So the fact that I'm broadcasting from my living room is completely immaterial to the fact that I would crush every one of your conservative heroes. God forgive me for being arrogant. Okay. I'm also an asshole. I'm 100%. Ask my wife. She would agree, if nothing else, I'm an asshole. Let's see. Shout out to Benny Loco over on YouTube. I think you're pretty humble. I uh I have to work at humility. The thing that I keep in front of me is don't think more of yourself than you should. I think that's one of the best scriptures in the Bible. Don't think more of yourself than you should. That's a humbling thing. I always have to work on that. Don't look. Don't let this y'all. I'm written. I mean, I know they ain't none of y'all business. I ain't have to tell you, but I ain't balling yet. Now I had a pretty good month on YouTube. I'm gonna be honest with you. Now, if next month on YouTube is like this month on YouTube, then yeah, I'll be living classy. I actually might, in a year or two from now, be able to buy a home. But I framed this. I just picked up the floor. I cleaned up. I frame it. I know how to frame anything. If you saw my webcam, if you saw the webcam version of this, you'd laugh. So it's just framing. It's the camera. It's the lighting. You know, I've done this for years, so I know how to make anything look great. New Zealand's in the house. Okay, what time is it in New Zealand? Where is everybody from, by the way? Oh, Lee. Hey, Lee, what's going on? Lee is a teacher, um, and brilliant guy. He said that other guy probably listens to folk in their basement. Again, I honestly, the thing that encourages me is that when people hear the truth, they know the truth. And if somebody wants to draw, and oh Lord, I thought something was crawling on my foot. It was my mic cable. Boy, I was about to cut the food. If somebody draws an equivalence between what we believe and what conservatives believe, there's a quantifiable, yes, but there's a qualitative difference. If someone wants to draw an analog between what I do and like any whoever else, like with a conservative, right? There are a lot of people in my space, friends of mine who've been doing this for years. I think they're excellent, and I think they do just as good a job, if not better. Um, but in terms of trying to compare what I do to like a conservative, you all know the difference when you hear it. And I think that's the one thing that this nighttime broadcast is here for. I need to reassure you that what we stand for is fundamentally different. What we believe in is fundamentally different. What we're fighting for is fundamentally different. I am literally fighting so that every person on the face of this planet, but most certainly in this country, can have a baseline of living where everyone is housed, everyone is clothed, everyone is fed, everyone has an education paid for through college, and everyone has a doctor. That's what I have committed my life to. And that flows, for me personally, that flows from my faith, and that flows from just me as a humanist. Like, I feel like that is the path that we have to take as humans in order to maximize our humanity. I also feel like that's the path of Christ. So I'm a Christian, I'm a humanist. But what we're fighting for is fundamentally different than those people who are fighting to ensure that they have no responsibility to anybody else but themselves and to making war across the globe. That's the difference. So anyone who would ever try to draw an analog between what we believe being just the opposite side of the coin of conservatives, they're not doing so in good faith, because you can't say that we're all the same. when some of us are fighting to ensure that everyone is good, that everyone is okay, that we make enough wealth to make sure that everybody is okay. And then others who will simply say, too bad, your fault. Never mind our culpability, our historical culpability to all of the injustices and all the inequities that we see. Never mind America's specific role in the exploitation of human life. Never mind the monetization of homelessness, right? Never mind the role that we play in the poverty and the despair that we see. Never mind that. Too bad. So sad. You're on your own. I just want to reassure you that what you're fighting for is meaningful, purposeful, true, just, and right. And with that, good night. I'm looking old and tired as dirt. Good night, Al.